Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another What Are You Playing? Episode of Games My Mom Found of November 2023. I am Mike Albertin, and who's playing some games with me tonight? Awesome.
I'm Carson.
Michael Colby.
This is Joe Butler, and you won't believe what I do at the end of my season finale.
And Colby, where can people find you at?
You can find me either at Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex or This Bizarre Adventure. Those are both podcasts, both very funny, and you should listen to them and join the Patreons.
And there'll be a link to the show notes of both of his podcasts in the show notes, so go check them out. All right, and as we do each month that we do one of these episodes, I got to start off the first topic. I always start with a snap, because I'm still playing Marvel Snap, if you can believe that, every day. Still gets my money. I should get more of my money now.
I can and can't believe it, so please indulge us, Mike. What's the new card? Is it the Marvels, or is the Loki thing already done?
A Loki thing is already done. I think that was last month. Right now, it's Miss Marvel is the season pass card that you get with your $10. A bunch of other stuff too, but again, like it's always funny because when this new season starts, everybody has a new card all of a sudden. Because of course, I did it too, and everybody has to use it, and I'm just so then you just. But I mean, the game's still fun. I'm still having fun with the game. I mean, nothing's really changed yet to the ecosystem and the economy, but game's still going. I mean, they keep doing different promotions. They just had a Twitch promotion right now where you have to watch Twitch for 6 hours and you got a variant card and some currency and stuff. So just for sitting there watching Twitch, which I did, of course, in the background. But no, I mean, still enjoying Snap a lot. I'm currently playing a discard deck right now is what might become my thing is, because that's kind of what the meta is. So, no, I mean, the game changes every month. Every couple weeks, they make adjustments to cards and they fix things. If they see a card being used too often they don't like, they nuke it. And then they eventually refix it, and I'm fine with that. And they also recognize their mistakes. They made a big mistake with a card that came out last month, Mobius. They nuked it to where they made it useless, and the community had a fucking fit. Like, I mean, YouTube videos and everything, they were pissed, and they fixed it. They came back and said, okay, we made a mistake. We'll change the card close to what it... I mean, for those who play Marvel Snap, I mean, the way the ability was, it was an ability that once you played the card, the ability went the rest of the game. They changed it where the ability only happened the next turn, which is not, it doesn't work with that type of card. It just, it broke the card and made it completely garbage, and they fixed it. They recognized they made a mistake and they fixed it. So I appreciate that. I mean, they're pretty good about fixing things. There was another card, Alioth, from the Loki season that dominated the meta, because when you play that card, all the cards that the opponent plays in that turn, in that zone, are destroyed. So it can really fuck up somebody's gameplay. So they made changes to that card. I mean, they do recognize issues and they fix them. So the game stays playable and there isn't one deck that rules them all. So you don't have to buy new cards. You don't have to do the things that I do. I just like to because I love the game. They usually get about $20 out of me or so. Well, this month might be like 30, but hey, I enjoy it so much. I don't have to. I mean, if you don't run it, I mean, you spend the $10, you're set. They have some good bundles and I buy shit. So it's a great game. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone else is playing it in this podcast right now, right?
No, the only card game I still play is Magic: The Gathering Commander on the with actual cards.
Yeah, I won't go down that rabbit hole. I already went down one rabbit hole with virtual cards. I know what it will be if I start going to real cards. No, thank you. I played Magic, and I had a friend of mine. We were at a dinner for one of my wife's friends, and her husband was like, "Oh, do you play Magic?" And I'm like, "I ain't opening that. I ain't going down that road again." I see what the digital card game did to me. Let's not even find out what a physical, expensive, real card game will do to me. Like, no, we don't.
You can always play Magic: The Gathering Arena, which is the online game, which is basically just standard and modern stuff. It's not as crazy as Commander can get.
The only Magic: The Gathering that I play every so often, like when I get the itch, is I go back and I play Chandelar, which is a PC game from 1995. Love that damn game, by the way.
Yeah, I remember I rented out the Magic: The Gathering game for the PlayStation 1. It was probably a port of that or something.
It's not. I know what you're talking about. No, it's a PC only game made by Sid Meier, actually, where you travel a world map, you fight random enemies of different that will come after you go to towns, you buy cards. Amazing fucking game for me. and it has all the old cards that I know what every card does without even having to read. And every once a year or so, I always play it and beat it because I just love that game. But that's I can't go near Real Magic ever again. But no, it's great. But yeah, that's play Marvel Snap. I don't know if I say just spending money doing what I do, but Marvel Snap is still fun, and you can easily get a lot of cards without spending any money and just do the free-to-play stuff with the way the game works. I mean, it's only really because of me. I'm only missing 6 cards out of like 200 some cards that are or however many are in the game. I'm only missing 6. So that should kind of give you an idea of how far my collection is.
This podcast sponsored by Marvel Snap.
I wish. I've actually thought about making a Twitch and actually doing Twitch just so I could be in a Marvel Snap ambassador so I'd get free stuff from them. I've thought about it, but I can't add more to my plate than what I already do. My wife will be like, what the hell? So we're not doing that. But I have thought about it.
All I can say is you could probably just stream these live. That probably wouldn't be an issue.
No, but it depends on when I play. I mean, I play a lot when I'm doing other things that I could not be streaming at that time. So you're just, but I thought about it. I really have thought about becoming an ambassador and be like, I could stream and get paid. And I wouldn't get paid, but I make currency. Because they give you stuff for being an ambassador for Marvel Snap. If you stream you only have to stream like, I think it was 2 hours or 4 hours a week, and you get extra gold and stuff.
Awesome. So, that's cool.
But yeah, good game. That's enough Marvel Snap. Michael Colby, what is something you've been playing?
I've actually been playing a lot. Just real quick, I just wanted to mention it because nobody seems to check the Netflix games app, but they just added Dead Cells to the phone app on Netflix. So you can, if you haven't played Dead Cells, it's amazing. The phone version, not the best way to play a fast-paced, what do you call that? A roguelike game like that. But I mean, for it being free with a Netflix subscription, which everybody has, definitely check that out. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. I love it so much. I am a huge Assassin's Creed guy. Like since the first one, like I recognize the flaws in the first one, but like I've beaten that game like 3 times. And then I kind of liked Origins. I was like, all right, well, let's try something new in here, because by that time there were so many of those games. But then like I beat Origins and I was tired of it. And then Odyssey came out and I got about halfway through it and I didn't even touch Valhalla, because those are not Assassin's Creed games. Mirage is an Assassin's Creed game 100%. It is so good. If you're a fan of Assassin's Creed, it goes back to almost like 2. Like that's how Assassin's Creedy it is. With all of the, I think I said it on this podcast when we were talking about Metroid Dread, that what was missing after Super Metroid was a lot of like the finicky, weird Metroid stuff. Like, like just some of the janky stuff that you get used to when you play Super Metroid a lot. Assassin's Creed has the same sort of stuff. And I think they over polished it after a while. And Mirage has all of the like bullshitty Assassin's Creed stuff.
Sorry, what was an example of the Metroid jank you're missing or thinking about?
Like the shine jump and
shine spark.
Yeah. Just like some of the weird stuff that people were like, oh, I don't like this thing in it. Like the really hard boss battles. I think the advanced games missed out on some of that stuff. And then Dread sort of brought some of that stuff back. And I did see people complaining about it like, oh, this game is too hard. And, it's hard to do some of this stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be. And I think Assassin's Creed Mirage has the same sort of stuff. Like it has the annoying, like you'll stick to stuff while you're climbing, like you'll jump off of something that you're not meaning to, which, people complain about, but I'm like, no, this is exactly what I wanted out of an Assassin's Creed game. It has all of the Assassin's Creed stuff that I didn't realize how much I missed it. Because even 4 polished a lot of that stuff out. And this one feels like a return to actually playing Assassin's Creed. And I love it.
I'm glad it's good. I'm I'm excited to play it in 10 years.
I've only poked at the a couple of times at the current Assassin's Creed, as you said, like Odyssey or Valhalla, and I'm a perennial poker of games. I never actually complete most of them, save ones I really get deep dived into.
Those three were really tough for me because they're good games. Like, I'm not saying they're not good games, but I don't have time for 100-hour RPG.
Same.
And 100-hour RPG is not what I'm looking for out of an Assassin's Creed game. I want to be able to climb up onto the roof and kill people in one shot, no matter what my level is. And there was just too much like level cap stuff in those other games that I just wasn't a fan of. But this one, as long as even the big, heavily armed enemies, as long as they don't see you, you can assassinate them in one shot and it's no problem. The story is whatever. It feels almost like a reboot because it feels like they're redoing one. It's sort of it's in the same general area. It's got a lot of the same sort of things. I think Basim is a lot more likable than Altair, though. So, like, that's nice.
Is there any modern day stuff?
No, not that I've seen. I'm like, no, that's great.
I love the modern day stuff.
No, the modern day stuff was all so stupid.
It gets a little stupid if you've played. Well, I like how you,
Up to 4.
Michael. Yeah, I like Michael how you said like Assassin's Creed Valhalla isn't really an Assassin's Creed game because I played that game to finish and I 100% agree with you. It very much is not, but I also kind of like that because I think probably my favorite part of that game is dual wielding shields. But now you're basically just had me sitting here going, God, I hope that game's on sale for Black Friday because now I kind of want to play.
It's if you like Assassin's Creed and you like Assassin's Creed, like
I love Assassin's Creed.
It may be on their Ubisoft Plus, whatever it's called.
That probably won't be for a little bit. They don't put
it goes on sale a lot, by the way, Joe. I see it all the time on Steam sales. I just don't click on it because I don't want it yet, but it goes on sale a lot.
I do think I saw that Mirage is going to be on sale on Black Friday because I was looking to see what the Black Friday sales were, and I did see Mirage. I don't know on what, but
I'm just happy it's a good game.
Yeah, I am too.
It's really good, especially if you, like me, were missing playing like classic Assassin's Creed.
I mean, I am too, but then I've also haven't played multiple of them.
One of the things that I sound like a broken record because every time someone brings up Assassin's Creed, but it's just really one of the issues. I don't think Origins does it, but the one thing that one of the main reasons I really dropped Odyssey because they have this weird concept of the game where you basically play it and you can do the whole main story and the game will basically go, hey, you just beat the main story up to a certain point. Don't do that. Go do a bunch of side missions and then we'll unlock more of the story for you. And it's like, I don't want to fucking do that.
Absolutely. And I like to clean up my Assassin's Creed games, but I like to do it after I finish the story, after I have the cool armor. Like, I want cleaning up the side stuff to be easy. So I want that good armor. I want those good weapons so that when I go do it, it's just like fun. And you couldn't do that in those Origins, Odyssey, Valhallas.
I say I don't like that, but I've been playing Gotham Knights. I can't talk about much because you'll hear me talk about it for a while in a different episode. But I'm loving that for that way that game is working. So
I'm gonna make fun of Gotham Knights a little bit later in this podcast. Don't worry.
Okay. That's fine. That's completely fine. But we can't say too much, but we can say a little because you're on that episode too.
Lol.
That's all I have to say about Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's fantastic, and if you like Assassin's Creed, go get it and play it. And it's $50, which is like not an insignificant amount of money, but it's less than what games cost now. So, save $20, get it on Black Friday. It'll be on sale, I'm sure, more than one place.
Awesome.
Okay. Am I still going, or are we going to the next person?
You go to the next person. Carson, what is something you've been playing?
If you want the newest one that I've played and beaten finished, I played Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
Yes.
I went through the New Game Plus, then the New Game Plus, and everything. And it is awesome. The way some of the missions change up when you do them in New Game Plus and Plus, and the whole inside story. People say there's no story. They're liars that lie. And I love it. I've been a hardcore, longtime fan of Armored Core, and it fulfilled every single dream I wanted in an Armored Core game.
It rules. I love the way it feels. Like the movement is so smooth and fun and fast. And yeah, I love the fact, and Mirage did this, and Assassin's Creed, and I'm going to talk about this on a different episode later this year. It's not afraid to be levels of a video game.
Oh yeah.
Like I love that about this stuff. Like not everything has to be open world anymore. They're like, all right, here, get in your giant robot and do this level, and then it's done. And you can go back and redo the level, but you don't have to go back to a hub world and do this and do that and then like walk your ass back to where the mission takes place. You can just be like,
the continue system saves your life. Like you get to a boss or a midpoint of a mission and you fail, you can just from the continue screen change your loadout and just start back from that continue.
Oh, yeah. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's everything that it's hard, but like the quality of life stuff is such that it makes it very accessible to like actually get through.
You can after each mission it is tallied up how much money you get and how much you spend in ammo and repair costs, but it's been very lenient as far as I've seen. And it is rarely you get into negatives. And when you buy parts and whatnot in the store, you can sell them back for the exact same price.
Oh,
yeah, that's cool.
Hey, I don't know if it's true, so you could probably confirm it for me, Carson. I heard they actually have a version of like the Moonlit Blade in the game too, from like the other Dark Souls games.
Yeah, there's always a Moonlight Greatsword or Moonlight Blade in almost any FromSoft game that's not I don't think one of their old adventure games like Echo Knight or
Kingsfield.
Well, they are in Kingsfield.
Kingsfield is where it's from.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I don't think it's in their Echo Knight series or For the Love of Enchanted Arms.
I don't think they're in any of the Tenchu games that they did either.
I don't think they did. I heard or read somewhere that they didn't. That they had almost no dealings in the Tenchu games.
No, I know that they published them. I thought they made a couple of them, but I just play the games. I don't really. I'm not one of those that like goes in, but so I might be wrong.
Yeah, and another point, the customization is insane.
Good and bad thing for me personally.
Like you can tweak almost any almost all the color schemes of almost any part and any gun, any weapon, and the emblem creator is just massive. And seeing what people actually make, it just blows my mind.
Okay. And Joe, what is something you've been playing?
I'm going to start off with my negative game that I was playing recently because I got it for free, and it's basically, hey mom, can we go get Dead Space? And she goes, no, we have Dead Space at home. And it's fucking the Callisto Protocol.
Is it that bad?
It's bad.
Yeah. I hear so many negative things.
So one thing that I can basically describe on it, which basically would be a ruin breaker for any game, not only is there no fucking map, there's not even a waypoint marker. I've gotten lost so many fucking times in that game. And there's even times where, like, I'm wandering around and, like, funny enough, Mike's been watching a lot more horror movies, where, like, the guy goes, hey, I'm going to go this way. And he goes, like, away, and it looks like he's going to die. Like, I've gone up, like, what looks like the equivalent of, like, a butthole. And I literally thought, I'm like, am I going the right way? And it's like, oh, you found a secret room. And I'm like, I didn't fucking want this, though. I want to go forward.
Like, I don't want to finish. I just want to finish this game.
Yeah, I just want to finish this fucking game. And like, what's worse is the fight mechanic in the game's really good. You have to like dodge enemies, like you're juking them, like you're boxing, and you have like a it's a electric baton, and it's really fun to fight enemies one-on-one. But then they also give you a gun, and you get tons of ammo for the gun. So you're like, why the fuck am I using this? And there's only like three enemy variants in the whole fucking game. It's like a guy, another guy that spits, a fat guy, and then there's the boss character that has like 2 arms.
I do want to play it, like very much so. Sometimes I really get into bad games.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no,
I do.
It is for what it is. Like if you want to play a very okay Dead Space knockoff, you play that. They even have a part where like you walk in a room and it says shoot the tentacles, and you're like, huh? Nah, this is Dead Space.
Is it short too?
It's short. Yeah, I want to say I beat it. I beat it at like 10 hours.
Okay, you know what? That game sounds like a Mike game to me.
If you're like me and you've tried to get into Dead Space several times and it never stuck, I actually kind of like the Callisto Protocol. Like, I really like that. I do really like the combat in it.
It's good combat.
It's great. And I sort of felt the same way about Dead Space. Like, I just played the remaster for about 2 hours and I'm like, this still isn't for me. But like, the combat is so fun, but everything around the combat, I'm like, this sucks. And I felt the same way about the Callisto Protocol, but I liked the combat a lot better in that because I do like that up close. Like, I didn't even bother with the gun most of the time.
Mm-hmm. And
I like melee combat much better.
The only other weird issue that I had with it is I feel it's one of the things where obviously we even know now CEOs always put their hand in stuff, and this is very much someone leaning over their shoulder and being like, hey, you should make this more like Dead Space, because the story is also pretty okay, but they try to do like a weird like Dead Space twist.
Didn't most of it have some of the Dead Space developers working on it?
Yes, it very much has like, I think like 90% of them working on 90 or 60% of them working on it.
Then the guy, the CEO of the company quit not too long ago because this game bombed.
Yeah, no, I think isn't that the guy that they were talking about that like. No, I'm thinking of like the CEO of EA originally.
You're not talking about the guy who quit, who jumped out of Unity. That was a former CEO.
Yeah, that
fucker?
guy. Yeah, I found out why he got kicked out of EA, and it's actually really fucked up.
Was it deserved? I'm assuming.
Yes. So his idea was they were going to charge people for ammo in Call of Duty. and basically,
don't you mean Battlefield? Because EA is Battlefield.
Yeah, Battlefield. Yeah,
but I mean, my God, people.
And his idea was like, well, when you use bullets, you really don't count how many you have. So if we simply just make people autoplay for bullets, we're basically just printing money. And they're like, oh, we're so gonna get in a lawsuit for this. We need this guy gone.
Yeah, like the Unity thing. I mean, you're like, we're gonna bat charge you for stuff that you sell. And they're like, everybody's like, fuck you. So yeah.
But
people.
Callisto Protocol, solid C. Like and one of the things where at the end of the day, I just kind of wanted to play it so I can get full of it. And in the back of my mind, I had Mike telling me, just play it on easy. If you're just doing it for the story, just play it on easy, Joe. And I should have, because that game fucking sucked on normal.
I play. Okay, for Gotham, we'll go back to this real quick. But Gotham Knights, I'm playing on easy and not very easy because it felt too easy on very easy. Besides the bosses are fucking tough. But other than that, easy's fine. But yeah, no, I mean, if you're just playing, like, especially if you're just like you don't care about a game, like you just want to play it, experience it, put it on the easy difficulty, and just play through it quickly. I mean, especially any game that comes out, the last like 10 years, you're going to be in that situation where it's fine.
Do you want to know the worst part? Actually, speaking of difficulty.
Sure.
I don't know if any of y'all know this, and if Mike, if you're a player, I need to remember to tell you. If you can play that whole game on easy, you can beat the final boss. I'm not going to spoil what any of the game is, but you can beat the final boss, and there's a segment for when you beat the boss where you have to run and do the final cutscene. You can pause the game, change it to the most hardest difficulty of the game, and then run to that final cutscene, and you'll get the achievement for beating the hardest difficulty.
Oh my gosh.
Which is just kind of...
Young Mike would have loved that, by the way.
which is just kind of proof of how much they didn't give a shit about this game at the end of the day.
Well, I'm sure it was rushed.
And
Plus, Dead Space got announced shortly after like this game was about to come out. Like, oh yeah, Dead Space coming out too. And they're like, well, there you go, COR Thunder.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was a big part of it, I think, too. If they wouldn't announce a Dead Space remake, I think this game would have done better.
No.
Okay. I'm curious about it. I want to play it someday, but I
It's on
don't have other games.
It's on PlayStation Plus now.
I don't have PS Plus though.
Oh, okay.
Is it only for PS5?
It's for
Plus?
It's for everything, honestly, Mike. You could probably wait till Black Friday, and it'll probably be like $5.
I'll get it someday on PC when it's cheap and I can put it on the show. That's the only way it's gonna happen.
But I'm
a sucker for cheap games, and something like that did so bad, it will most likely be in a Fanatical bundle at some point, and I'll pick it up that way.
Fanatical.
I think you can buy the collector's edition for like $20.
On Steam, it's $60 if I wanted to buy it right now.
Yeah, right now, but when it's on sale, it's cheap as fuck.
It is $5. I'll probably grab it. But yeah, I'm in no rush. You know me, I got time.
So who's next? I'm done with my first row.
Oh, on Game Pass, there is a game called Thirsty Suitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about this.
This game, it's a like dating sim, cooking sim, skateboarding game, JRPG. And I'm going to be honest with you, the dating part is like probably the best part because the rest of it is not great, especially the skateboarding. The skateboarding is, I would say, bad, but you don't have to do it. But this game is so charming, and I was just like, I was so drawn in. It's nice and short. It's like very queer. It's just very good. And as someone who still gets judged on shit that I did when I was a shitty like kid, I understand Jala's like problems, so I fell in love with her right away. And I just think if you have Game Pass, like, you should definitely play this game. And I'm sure it's pretty cheap because it's a little indie game. It's definitely worth it. It's just a very charming game where you do a lot of stuff and everything is really stylish, and there's a lot of like fashion stuff. You can like change your jackets and your shoes and your skateboard, and it's just all very charming. It's one of the most charming games I've ever played. It's
$30 on Steam.
Worth it.
I would be willing to pay that price for this game to play it on Steam because it looks actually amazing.
It's worth it. It's so good.
Okay. I added it to my wish list, so maybe someday I'll play it. I'll buy it. Well, more than likely I'll buy it at some point. Will I play it or not? Who the fuck knows?
It is on Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't have Game Pass either.
You're telling me Game Pass, Mike. Goddamn, $10 for the PC.
Yeah, dude.
I know, but you know, I mean, for me, everything I play is like, I mean, I freaking have a good chunk of next year already planned out of what's I'm gonna be playing. So, and I don't know if you can believe this, but most of it's retro. So,
yeah. Again,
2023's Game of the Year, Hi-Fi Rush is on Game Pass.
Fucking love that game.
Hi-Fi Rush sounds cool.
It's great. I loved it.
I might have to play it again because I played it for about 3 hours, and then I got to a point where I was just like, I feel like I should be enjoying this, but I just wasn't.
100%. I played that game stoned, which made the music, which made the music 1,000 times better. And not only that, as a guy that listened to fucking like techno music as a teenager, whenever you get to like this, it's not the finale, but it's like towards the end of the game, and you get launched into a building, and I had no idea what's coming, and invaders. Yeah, Invaders Must Die started playing. That is the only level I have a perfect score on because of how in beat I was that whole level.
Oh, and probably something I need to know deeper in to get you motivated to play it more. There's a Xenogears reference in this.
What?
Game.
There's this. Oh yeah, Mikey knows the Xenogears reference at the end. It's fucking great. I'll say it's not a spoiler, so I'll look it up and say it to you later.
Okay, man, I'm a sucker for Xenogears. I'm actually playing that game for the show next year. Finally.
Awesome.
Because I beat it in 2020, so I had to purposely not go back to it too quickly or I'd be very upset. So I've been waiting, because that was when COVID hit and I was depressed. That was my game I picked. I'm like, I need to play something that will remind me of the good old days when I was a child. So let's play Xenogears, a game about killing God. All right. And Carson, anything else you've been playing you want to mention?
I got back into playing Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, or whatever it's called. Yeah,
I play that.
I got that on PlayStation Plus on my PS4, and I played through that, getting to just start trying to complete it, trying to get all the drops, all the shards and everything. It's still fun. The crafting, the mixing, the everything, it's just good.
I love that game. When I played that for this podcast, like I was fucking in love. That's one of the games where I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 6 a.m, went downstairs and kept playing before work. So
I think the last time I did a whole long session of this grinding and whatnot, I think I started having dreams about it that night.
I'll take Miriam in my dreams. No issue there. Love that game so much. Man, that was a great game. Oh, yes, I know. I say whatever I want on this podcast.
and I'm always I am always 24/7, 365, almost in Final Fantasy 14. It's basically my second job right now.
I swear to God, someone always mentions Final Fantasy 14 on like 40 playings.
I have one of my friends is always trying to tell me, she's like, hey, my server's open, you should come on. I'm like, my life is too, like, I want to play it to play through the story, but I'm like, my life is too busy right now. Like, I can't, even though I can play for free.
You know what? I wouldn't blame you for just watching all the cutscenes in a YouTube video.
I might do that.
I don't know. I just can't do it. I put a lot of time into Final Fantasy 11, and that consumed my life for a few years. And
funny you should ask that. In the next expansion, their big alliance raid is going to be Final Fantasy 11 themed.
God damn it!
Sky, here we come. That's what it's going to be. Watch, it's going to be Zillart. Someone got that joke. If you played 11, you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but I can't go back. I don't touch MMOs.
Yeah. I'm basically waiting for the next patch. I've done almost everything, completed on my main account. I got almost all my jobs and crafting jobs up to max level. I am right now leveling an alt, just a different account on a different server. I'm actually a dancer at a in-game club.
14 just sounds so damn cool. I remember hearing about like real little sex clubs or something people made in the game, and I'm like, that is cool.
God damn.
There's stuff like that. I was like, yeah, people role play and stuff. Like, man, it makes me curious. It makes me tempted to want to play sometimes, but like my life is just, there is too much going on.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I can't. Ah, damn it! I just saw your thing you sent me, Joe, for Hi-Fi Rush. It's 100% a Xenogears reference. Fucking A.
Yeah,
that's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut because a lot of people wouldn't get that.
And I sent you a YouTube from a YouTuber called Magellar who does a very good deep dive into Xenogears and some meanings and whatnot. You should watch after you play the game.
I've beaten it twice at this point, but I'm going to beat it a third time this year. But also, fun fact for anyone that can listen to the show, who continues to listen to the show, at some point, after we finish the Kingdom Hearts, I'm doing Xenosaga. I'm doing those 3 games.
Oh, okay.
Because I bought Xenosaga the day it came out, like 2004 or 3, whenever the fuck that game came out, and I still have yet to play it for more than like 4 hours. And yeah, so I should probably remedy that, at some point in my life.
What's that one that just came out recently, like 2 days ago? A Xeno game.
I know Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out like a year ago almost. I think
nothing came out.
I don't know.
Recently, I'm aware of.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the wrong game. Okay.
But I don't really keep track of new games. Super Mario RPG just came out at the time of this recording, but I don't keep track of games because I don't.
I think that's tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm buying that. Okay. I've never played that, and I'm buying it.
And the Star Ocean Second Story remake came out.
That's it. Star Ocean. That's what it was. I've heard great things about that.
Same.
Including a lot of stuff that they say like really helps the like level up system.
I want to play that bad.
It's good. I've played a little bit of it, and it's really good. The graphics are amazing. The battle is as good as it's been. The one thing I will always be salty about is they changed how items look and how item creation is from the PlayStation 1 game. Where in the PlayStation 1 game, it used to be 3D render, like floating around things of the items.
Yeah.
Like almost every single item had a 3D model representation of it. And it was the jankest, low-rent 3D models you would ever see. Yeah. And when you did item creation, it would morph and twist and whatnot into the other item, and I missed that terribly. And that's the only knock that I will give against this.
But it looks so cool. Like Star Ocean 2 is one of those games for PS1 that I put so many hours in and never finished. I got to the final boss and I couldn't beat him.
Yeah, me too.
When I saw that remake, I'm like, man, is it tempting? But we'll see. I have a couple RPGs that I'm waiting to come out that I want to do in the show, Suikoden 1 and 2, that were supposed to be in the show already, but the fucking remake never been released yet. So I'm waiting on that.
Yeah, and the new Uridan Chronicles, the one made by the people who made Suikoden 1 and 2.
That they're purposely waiting to. Yeah. I feel like they're waiting for that to come out to steal their thunder and release it the same day. So those assholes. Fuck you, Konami. Joe, what is something you've been playing?
So I beat Spider-Man 2.
Nice.
That was absolutely a great game. My only real complaint, which I think I told someone, is my biggest issue is every minute that I beat a mission in that game, I'm like, when am I getting the symbiote? And you really don't get it until a couple hours in, but I really enjoyed most of my time. I enjoyed all of my time with it, and I need to go back and 100% it.
Yeah, I just don't have a PS5.
I know it's a really big issue where the only reason why, because I don't have a lot of consoles. I have a PC, I have my Switch, and a PS5, and I just got a Steam Deck so I could play games on my TV without having to log my fucking PC. But the only reason why the PS5 and the Switch exist is for exclusives.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I bet. And I would want to myself play through the remaster of 1 and Miles Morales first.
Both great games.
As I said, my hang-ups about the combat, I might try to get over it somehow.
Miles Morales is by far my favorite of those Spider-Man games. I just think Miles is more interesting of a character than Peter Parker. His powers are more interesting, and that game also wasn't bogged down with so much side shit. That first game becomes such a slog after a while. I was really high on the first one for a while, and then by the time I was 3/4 of the way through it, I'm like, can we just get through this fucking game? I am tired of doing this shit. But I never felt that way in Miles. I was like, this is great. Beginning to end, fantastic. Love it. And then I'm afraid to play 2 because I'm afraid that it's just going to be more bogged down side shit.
2, you can very much have... 2, they did slow down. There's no find all the backpacks and they're and all that other goofy stuff. There's very much just mission. What I like to think what it is there's missions that you can do either or, and then there's at least 2 sets of missions for each where you very specifically have to play as Peter or Miles. Miles's missions are dealing with Mysterio and also looking for the caches for his uncle, and then Peter's is looking for caches for some company, and I can't remember what the other one is off the top of my head. But you can pretty much play that game entirely as Miles if you like Miles more, because they're very much 2 different characters. And then even then, the 2 characters share one skill tree, but they also have their own skill tree, and those branch off into 2 different abilities, because you have Peter, who you get a spider tech, but then you can also you can choose to upgrade the symbiote. And then Miles has his tree, which has a Venom Strike, but then he has a completely different set of Venom Strike abilities he'll learn throughout the game as well.
Okay. I think I'm going to pull a mic on this one and wait until it's on sale.
That's fine.
You should. Hey, I think most games you should wait till they go on sale.
I agree.
I'm kind of glad they're pulling the God of War situation from this too, where they very much show at the end of the game too that this is going to be a trilogy. We might get I hope we get another Miles Morales game before Spider-Man 3. But a lot of the stuff's good. I had a lot of fun with the combat. I love using the symbiote and just being an absolute fucking menace to people. They did bring back the Mary Jane missions, and I actually had fun with them to the point to where the ending, which isn't really a spoiler, kind of ish, but Mary Jane's final mission basically is like a fucking survival horror third-person shooter game.
I heard they gave her a gun.
And I'm like, you know what? I kind of low-key want a spin-off of this, of a survival horror Spider-Man game, because I won't say what you fight, but the whole twist of it's just pretty cool and pretty interesting.
I don't want to say it here, but I heard the spoiler of kind of what you're talking about, what we could get with the Miles Morales game, who it might be if they do that route again?
I wouldn't know, but we'll talk about it off stream.
Okay. Oh, you haven't finished yet, have you?
No, I beat it. Yeah, I said I so my literally 3 games in a row was I played Callisto Protocol. I beat that before Spider-Man came out, and then the next game I'll talk about once we go back around is going to be Alan Wake 2.
Okay. Oh, I want to hear about that too.
Oh,
So, all right. Yeah. No, I won't. I don't want to spoil it because it's too new. But
I just got Alan Wake 2. I do not want to hear anything.
Okay.
We'll do a spoiler-free version of it.
I beat Alan Wake. I didn't love Alan Wake 1. I really liked the story, but I thought the gameplay was garbage.
Ooh, I'm judging
and
you,
then,
by the way.
I sort of liked Quantum Break. And then Control is one of my favorite games of all time. And when they were showing the stuff from Alan Wake, and then I saw that Ati is in it, and I'm like, yes, this rules. I'm so excited to play it. I wanted to get Assassin's Creed done before I started it, but I just got it, and I'm so excited to play it.
We must protect Ati at all costs throughout this whole game.
I'm finally playing Control because of you. Because you've been championing it for so long since I met you.
It's so good. And Ati, I think, can take care of himself. I don't think we have to protect him. I think he can take care of himself.
I can't wait to play Control.
As I said, I'm a serial game poker, and I just poked a little bit at those games, and they're okay.
I love Alan Wake personally. Is one of my top 10 360 games. That era, easy. I loved Alan Wake so much.
Alan Wake 1 has not aged well, only because every mission ends where you lose your weapons and you have to get the new ones.
I don't mind that.
The gameplay is by far the weakest part of that game. The story's so good that it kept me going, but the gameplay is dull because you are doing the same thing over and over again from the beginning of that game till the very end. You're doing the same exact thing.
I don't mind that sometimes. I mean, sometimes it bothers me. Alan Wake, it did not. I played it for the show a couple years ago. I want to go back to it again. I just love that game.
Obviously, you don't have a problem doing the same thing over and over again because you like Gotham Knights so much.
I mean, hey, some games just clicks. I mean, no, I got 100% you're doing the same thing over and over again. But I'm also a sucker for Court of Owls stories, I'm finding out. So that's part of it.
That's fair. And then the other thing, too, which is funny, is I beat Alan Wake, but I was playing Spider-Man, and I'm doing Gotham Knights. And it's so weird playing Gotham Knights, and then me thinking of Spider-Man, of going 100 miles an hour through New York, and then sitting there and fucking fart jumping as Jason Todd through the fucking goddamn city.
You see, that's your mistake.
Yeah, I legitimately, because my partner's playing Nightwing, and both me and him are like, you want to switch characters? So now we have to decide who we're going to switch to, whether he wants Tim, and I'm going to be Batgirl, or if we're going to switch it like that, or we can both be Batgirl. Surprisingly, what you can do in the game.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I am now playing it where I switch each character for each day that I go out again, and that's been a really cool experience. Even Red Hood's grown on me, but I don't really I don't fast travel. I mean, I fast travel, but I also just am happy just to jump around and I love it. I don't know. I'm having a weird time with that game, but I'm really loving it. But
I will ask you something weird off stream if you remember that about Gotham Knights. But anyways, Colby, do you want to go next about what next game you want to do?
Oh, I don't have anything spectacular to talk about. I got back into Loop Hero.
Oh, that's a good game.
Oh my God. There's no reason that game should be so fun, but I find myself engrossed in that world and those characters and doing that loop and trying to figure out, can I do another loop, or am I going to lose too much of my resources? It's such an interesting premise for a simple game. And the fact that they put the story into it the way that they did is so perfect. I 100% it. I have all the achievements for that game, and I'm still playing it. And I never do that with games. Once I'm finished with a game, I'm fine. All right, I did everything. But Loop Hero makes me just want to play the game more.
Okay.
That is very much a Steam Deck Switch game you could take while you're while you have on lunch break at work and stuff like that.
Yeah. I like to have it on in the background while I'm on podcasts.
I did it with Vampire Survivors before, a whole bunch at one point.
Oh man.
Vampire.
And in case nobody saw, Vampire Survivors did get an update with a new weapon, a new stage. There's like 9 new achievements. The new weapon's pretty good. The new stage is a little boring, but it's a free update stage, so it's not like you paid for it. But yeah, that Vampire Survivors also so fucking good. Like, I don't know when people started making these very simple games like that good, because it usually it used to be either it was very like a simple premise or like a good game, but like they're really doing some wonders with these really simple games. But yeah, let's talk about Alan Wake.
Carson, you're next. So I'll go. Yeah, go.
Geez, any other games I've been playing? Oh, I did play you know what? Why not? Let's talk about it. I went back and played a little World of Warcraft.
Oh,
okay.
BlizzCon was like a couple weeks ago, and they announced their new expansions. Ends with an S. 3 new expansions back to back that are supposed to be more story focused. It seems.
That's
and
cool. I just don't know where it's going.
Yeah, and they're really trying to catch up to Final Fantasy XIV, I tell you.
But yeah, I mean, they just need to let it go, I feel like, at this point, but they're not going to.
Yeah, and it kind of got me back in for a couple days, just poking at it and whatnot. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I replayed since I'm in the middle of looking. I'm looking for a new job for like some online work and whatnot. One of the people who are looking at to hire me and whatnot wanted to know my typing score, my typing words per minute and whatnot. And so before doing a test, I actually warmed up a little bit with the OG typing of the dead PC I have.
Hey, whatever works.
That's a pretty interesting way to warm up for typing.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah, and I think that's all I can think of on top of my head.
Okay. Joe, and you just have Alan Wake 2 left. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. So I'll get an Alan Wake 2 without really spoiling it. I loved it. Even though I think I posted it in the group chat. That game, there's the chapter in, because the way I can basically describe the Alan Wake game, which is really really well and really interesting. The way they separate the game is there's 2 main characters. You can play as Alan, and then you can play as a new character who's an FBI agent who is Saga. I recommend playing them in 3 chunks because it's kind of weird, because the way they make it is like the first part of the chapter, the second and the third part of the chapter are kind of like the beginning and ending of like the real big middle. So it'll be like chapter 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 will be the big part, and then 3 will be really short, and 1 will be pretty short. And then at the end of the 3rd chapter, when you get to the 4th chapter of Saga, I recommend switching over to Alan, because you do end up getting a way to switch back and forth between them through story and what's going on. And the way they do it's really interesting. I have my gripes about it. Alan kind of story arc is more the horror aspect of him kind of feeling like a Silent Hill game horror narrative. I liked a lot of it, and a lot of it's great and all that. Saga, my only real issue with hers is that it's still in the forest, and it's the same issue as Alan Wake 1, where I'm in the forest and you're dodging, and then you go, where the fuck am I? Because you're just like surrounded by trees and you have no idea where you're at. They both get different weapons, which is really fun too. Both the stories very interesting, but like I said, there's areas they each go to, and there's a part where Saga where you go to an area and there's like a jump scare every like 20 minutes, and you don't see it coming, and my back started to hurt because I was screaming because of how much it freaked me the fuck out.
I can't wait.
Dude.
I loved Alan Wake, and I love the story, and to finally hear that like it's getting more wrapped up, also with playing Control, I know that there's the Alan Wake expansion in Control for DLC, right?
And
the
Yes.
Alan Wake expansion is pretty weak sauce as far as Alan Wake stuff goes.
I'll still play it, of course.
It's great. It's more Control that you can play, and any more Control that you can play is A+. But if you're looking for Alan Wake stuff, it's light. It is light Alan Wake stuff.
That's fine.
Yeah, there's something, because I was going to say it, but I don't want to spoil it. There's something I need to send Mike that I think he'll get a kick out of, because I know he's not going to play it anytime soon.
No, it's gonna be a few years.
Yeah, so I want to send it to you because IGN posted it, and it's probably like the funniest part of the whole fucking game. I enjoyed a lot of it. It plays like a survival horror game.
Okay.
And from what I've played too, I'm still waiting for New Game Plus. And then what is it? There is a season pass you can buy for the game, which I didn't buy, but I know there's going to be a season pass because there's a lot of stuff in that game that at the end of the day doesn't get answered. So they'll probably expand on it in the season pass.
Hopefully,
maybe a third game in 10 years.
Hopefully it's better than the Silent Hill Ascension season pass.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised we didn't make fucking fun of that.
I haven't played it. I was going to, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
Oh, that thing crashed for me when I tried to play it, so I just fucking gave up.
It looks like trash.
What is it? Also, same thing too as well, because I forgot what we mentioned about earlier. But the Alan Wake 2 is only like $60. It was Assassin's Creed. Alan Wake 2 is only like $60 because you can only buy it digitally. So they're like, why do we have to make y'all pay for like the disc printout? So it's only going to be $60.
That's cool. I know people are upset that it's only digital. I mean, I get it. I don't care, but I get it. Personally, I don't care, but.
I held on to physical media for like a long time. I was like, oh, I only want to buy discs. And now it's like, why would I want more discs clogging up my house? Like it's just annoying. Plus the game's not really on there anyway. And it's a whole thing. You may as well just get with the times.
Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it,
play some digital media
is companies like people are like, well, you don't really own it, and the companies will keep take it away from you. I'm like, you know what, they can do that, and then once enough years pass, you can download it all a different way. So you know what, doesn't matter. Like the 360 library is already pretty much like, I remember people were all upset like, oh, Xbox Live Arcade is going down. I'm like, going down, but everything's available just about. Like
nobody cares.
It sucks, but in this day and age, it doesn't go away. It just goes away if you don't sail the seven seas. And I have if you won't sell me a product, I have absolutely no issue getting it different ways at all if you won't sell it to me.
Speaking of the Xbox Live Arcade, two more things about Alan Wake 2, which is funny. American Nightmare is not canon, which is weird because he wears a shirt in the game.
American Nightmare was pretty fun.
I want to replay it for the show because I haven't played it in so long.
American Nightmare is weird because what basically happened was we don't know if the series is if we're ever gonna get Alan Wake 2, so we're just making an ending that you guys can be satisfied with in case we don't. And now that they basically made Alan Wake 2, they're like, yeah, no, and Control's doing well, and they already announced making Control 2. They're like, yeah, no, American Nightmare isn't canon. Don't fucking ignore that. Someone needs to send a rescue operation to get Sam Lake out of his own ass because he plays three different versions of himself in this fucking game, which is he plays himself, he plays Alex Casey, the fake version that Alan writes his book off of, and then he also plays the real Alex Casey, the one that is the partner to Saga Anderson.
Yeah, isn't Alex Casey supposed to be the different name of Max Payne?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, it was Max Payne too.
Let's get real Max Payne back, and we can scrub that fucking Rockstar bullshit Max Payne 3 out of existence.
3's a good game though.
Oh, with Alan Wake 2 doing so well, there's tons of Max Payne references in that fucking game, and also they're apparently remastering 1 and 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a whole new Max Payne game as well, and then that also is Supernatural as well.
Okay, Mike, I don't disagree with you that Max Payne is a good game. Max Payne is a terrible Max Payne game. There's something about
Max Payne 3 is a bad
Max Payne 3 is a good game, but it's a bad Max Payne game. Rockstar does a thing where Remedy has like a particular grittiness, but also fun to their games, and Rockstar sucked all of the fun out of Max Payne and made it the grittiest bullshit you've ever played. And I'm like, this is fine, but it is not Max Payne. It is missing some Remedy magic, and I hate that game so much. It's like the Metroid Other M of Remedy game, like of Remedy properties. And we're not going to rehash my thoughts on Other M. But...
Okay, no, we'll get there someday. Someday I'll play that damn game on this podcast.
I'm so fucking mad every time we watch something and something about a baby comes up, and I look at my husband and I go, "The baby," and he has no idea what I'm fucking talking about. I'm so fucking mad.
You mean the babe with the power?
No, the baby.
I don't get that reference. I don't think.
I get it.
Yeah, and go look up YouTube and look up Other M, the baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were
and-
making a freaking labyrinth joke, and I was like,
No.
I haven't played Other M, and I know most of all the complaints and memes about it.
Yeah, and she says the baby like every other sentence.
Yeah, it's really fucking bad.
Right. Any other games you guys want to mention before we go on to movies and TV shows?
No.
Okay.
Can't think of any more, yeah.
All right. I'll go first for TV shows. I finally got around to watching season 4 of You.
Me?
That's a. I like that show, but woo, is that show dark. It's about a serial killer, essentially,
Ooh.
who doesn't know he's like, I'm not a serial killer. I'm not crazy. No, he's fucking crazy. So, very interesting show. I mean, content warning on that show if you're going to watch it, because it is about a guy who's a stalker who stalks women and then kills them and stuff like that. And it's a good show. Really good, but just be warned. So, yeah, I just watched season 4 finally. It came out earlier this year, but I just never got around to it. But I like it. We're getting one more season, I think next year maybe, and then they're done. Then they're wrapping it up, which is good because it doesn't need to overstay its welcome. Yeah, it's coming out next year supposedly. So yeah, no, it's something if you like suspense thrillers and you're okay. The villain is the main character essentially. So, but yeah, it's a very interesting show. Be warned on that part. Right, and Colby, what is something you've been watching?
Man, I don't watch TV.
Oh,
we're
okay.
we're watching Parks and Recreation again. We started from the beginning.
that beginning. Is
I need
slow
to
as fuck.
watch. I need to get off my butt and watch that in The Office and a bunch of the other stuff that people talk about all the time.
Yeah, the Parks and Rec, it starts slow. It's about season 3 before it like catches its footing and figures out what it wants to be.
Sa-
But I
same thing.
do what I'm sorry.
It's okay to say same thing as The Office. So
Yeah, they're all good shows. I mean, I'll take The Good Place over any of them.
I heard that's good too.
Good Place is really good.
It's
I've only
fantastic.
I've only seen clips and I know about the twist and the Jeremy Bearimy. That's all I know.
You should watch The Good Place. That is a good damn show.
You probably know the twist of the first season, but where that show goes is so good and so funny, and like I legit cried during that last episode, like ugly bawling.
It's so good. I watched it maybe last year or something. At some point, me and my wife ended up watching it because she's a big Kristen Bell fan, and frickin' I love that show. That was so good.
It's great. But yeah, all of his shows are good, but Parks and Rec is just something you can put on, while you're dinner and, having conversations, and it's happening, but you don't have to pay attention to it.
Okay. Oh, Carson, any shows you've been watching?
I've been watching the greatest anime of 2023. It's called Pluto, and it's basically it's on Netflix, and it's basically a retelling of an old Astro Boy set of seasons or set of episodes. It's drawn by mangaka called Naoki Urasawa. He also did a couple manga, one called Monster and another one called 20th Century Boys. And this, I'm only up to episode 2 of this show, and it is completely awesome. It's there's almost there may be a little bit of CGI, but it's almost all looks like hand drawn and everything. And the style is just completely unique. The robots and the humans and everything about it is completely awesome.
I've heard good things about Pluto.
Okay. And Joe, do you want to do your thing?
Ah, yes, it's time for that segment everybody loves. Play the intro music, Mike.
I should make one day.
I'll figure it out someday. It's Joe's Anime Corner. Joe's Anime Corner. I don't have the song right because I never remember it. I watch seasonal anime like the freak that I am. And so my first anime that I'm bringing up, because that's pretty much all I watch until we talk about Loki at the end of this. But my anime of the season already is going to be Shangri-La Frontier, where the main character is likes playing shitty VR games, and he's very much sick of it. The anime starts off where he basically plays an entire RPG, and the final cutscene, you're able to move around, and the princess thanks him, and he beats the shit out of her because of how annoying she was throughout the entire game. So his cute friend next door gets the owner of the shop to be like, hey, you should play like the best MMORPG to date, since you're probably getting sick of really shitty VR games. And he does what any sane person who plays Dark Souls would do, where he only equips a mask and some shorts and then sells all of his equipment.
I wondered if that was a mask or if that was a head, or he was actually like a furry or something.
No, it's a mask that he didn't like any of the other masks, so he picks that mask. But it's stupid because it's a mask, but it moves with his eyes and everything. So he did so whenever he's like worried or scared, it moves as well. But usually, I recommend giving animes 3 episodes in order for actually get a good feel of it. And with this one, I don't know if it's the second or third episode. He's so good at the game. And it's all just like, it's not even like a thing where he's like, oh, is he overpowered? No, he just has stupid fucking luck. He ends up picking a skill that spawns him outside of the main town. So he wanders forward, just completely puts everything into like crit and then speed. So he's a crit farmer, like the asshole that he is. And he runs into a very rare area boss that people make guilds to hunt. And his dumbass gets fucking like you have to assume that he basically gets a good chunk of its health down, because it basically kills him. And when he wakes up, he's back to his armor's gone. He's back to just wearing the bird head and the shorts, and he's got like these scars all over his body. And he's like, what the fuck happened? And it's like, oh, hey, because you ran into like a very rare boss. He basically put a curse on you to where you can't equip armor, and you also have like low stamina, and a bunch of the enemies run away from you if you're lower leveled. And he's like, well, what a fucking challenge. And yeah, I'm 6 episodes in, the 7th one came out, and it's getting really, really good. He met someone from one of his shitty games that he plays, and they're basically just beating the shit out of each other, and it's just high class action peak anime.
Okay.
And I almost forgot to say about Pluto. Each episode is an hour long.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I love Netflix anime.
Joe, do you have any other animes to mention?
Oh, sure. I'll keep going with that then, if anything. My next one is Kingdom of Ruins, which I haven't watched, but I saw the trailer for it and I'm ready to watch it. All I know is that basically there's like people live in a society where there's witches and people can learn magic, and basically the government votes. I don't really know what the term is, but some guy basically wins the election and becomes the new president of the area. And his whole thing, he ends up becoming like a huge racist and saying witches are evil. And so he ends up somehow teleporting the kid and his teacher to like a big podium, and in front of a bunch of people, he basically like kicks her ass and then murders her in front of everyone. And everyone's like, yeah, it's fun being racist. So it's a whole revenge anime. I don't know enough what it's about, but it looks really cool. So I might watch that.
Does he want to build a wall around the witches?
Yeah, actually, yeah, no, he builds a big wall and then basically says that they all need to be eradicated. What is it? Hulu has Undead Unluck, which I read the manga for, and it's basically about 2 characters. One can't die, and the other one has bad luck, and they basically join a group who also has weird powers that revolve around being So like, there's like undead, unluck, I think there's like unsee and untouched, and all kinds of other weird, goofy shit. But the two main characters, the undead guy basically has Deadpool regenerative powers. And he basically he learns how to like cut his own feet off and then shoot blood from the nub, so he propels himself forward.
Yeah, I've read the manga. A little bit of it.
I fell in love with the manga. I'm up to date, and I'm really glad the anime's out. And then my last one is also on Netflix, which is also an anime, which is called Good Night World. And it's basically about the main character hates his family, and so he'd rather hang out with his family, his fake virtual family online, because he thinks they're a lot cooler and nicer and they do everything together. But it turns out that the rest of the family is also his family. So in the game, the guy he calls dad is actually his dad in real life. And the guy that's like his brother is also his brother, but they don't know it. And yeah, that's the plot of the anime. And I'm like, I want to see where this goes, because I want to see if he'll have a full frontal meltdown when he finds out. And yeah, that's my anime for this season that I've been watching.
I have one show I finished watching season. Well, it took me a bit, but I finished Clone Wars season 5, 6, and 7 because I was watching a whole ton of it, and then I got stuck at season 5 in an arc I don't like, and I just stopped watching. And then when I finished that, I forgot how great season 7 is of Clone Wars, and 6 is pretty good too, by the way. But those are good. If you've never seen Clone Wars, you really should watch that show.
I should watch Clone Wars.
You should. I had to watch it because I went and met Ashley, as I said on a different episode, but I'll say here, I met Ashley Eckstein, the voice of Ahsoka, at a convention.
I know some people, I've heard some people get that confused with the Gandhi one called The Clone Wars.
But I got to meet her. Super nice, was awesome. I got her to sign an Ahsoka Funko Pop and got a selfie with her, which I wasn't going to do, but then I just said fuck it and went and paid the extra money and got a selfie. So, really great experience. I went to a convention in Minnesota called Twin Cities Con that comes, thankfully, 3 years, I think 4 years now. I think coming next year's going to be the 4th year. So, and it's coming back already. So, great convention that I go to now every year. But fun as hell time. And it's fun meeting celebrities when you get the chance. Like, I also met David Yost, the Blue Ranger, back in the day, and got him to sign my Funko Pop.
Yeah, I met him once as well.
Nice guy.
And yeah, he's very good. I need to watch Once Again and the new Cosmic Fury, whatever it's called, Power Ranger stuff. There's so much stuff.
Once and Always.
Yeah, and the new season Cosmic Dino Fury, whatnot, which they have the Blue Ranger in as a mentor, I think.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I'm slow on Power Rangers. I'm watching older Power Ranger stuff here and there, but that's another thing. Mike, did you have anything else to mention for TV shows? Okay. And Carson, did you have anything else?
Not that I am still, I am NCIS freak, so I've been watching that again. Every time I go to my parents' house, when I have to work feeding their dogs and work feeding their horses, I always sit down for a couple of hours and search for whatever NCIS season is on and just watch that for a couple of hours.
Okay. All right. And Joe, I haven't watched Loki, so feel free to take it away because I should have watched season 2 by now, but I've been just slow on it.
Loki's great. I loved every moment of it. It wraps up perfectly nicely to where they could or could not make a third season. I didn't think they could one up the first season, but they completely did. And I loved it. And if you need to binge watch it, I highly recommend binge watching it because it was just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I was spoiled on the ending of just scrolling through TikTok. That's how I see most of the new stuff nowadays. Just people posting clips and whatnot on TikTok.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I like Loki a lot. Loki season 2. It has a very satisfying ending, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the series with it because it's weird.
There's a new What If season coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I don't know why. I need to get into Loki. I just haven't touched it for this season. Is it pretty? Are you enjoying it though?
Loki?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I need to watch it.
I don't want to give a lot of spoilers, but like a lot of the new characters they introduce are really great. It's like the guy that plays Ouroboros. It's the guy from Everything Everywhere All at Once. The guy that used to play the little Asian kid from Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in that. And then I can't even think of his name, but yeah, I enjoyed Loki a lot, and I can't wait for What If, and I want to see if they connect in any way, and I'm assuming they will.
Okay, I heard somebody say at the end of Loki, they think.
They what?
Like this will be the end of Loki in the MCU.
It probably is. I really can't tell, mainly because it's MCU. Mainly because as I don't know about you guys, but I've seen all over Twitter. Iron Man died, but Robert Downey Jr. apparently just confirmed he's coming back. So who fucking knows anymore?
Well, that's because nothing's working out for them very well.
I'm hearing good things about the Marvels.
The Marvels looks great.
It does.
I mean, people are talking shit. Oh, whatever. People are idiots, so they're all like, "Oh, Marvel got woke," so it's like nobody wants to see it anymore. I don't know about you. I got burned out on Marvel so long ago. Like, I couldn't give a shit less about this Marvel stuff anymore, and it has nothing to do with anything except that there's just too much of it. There's just too much of it all the time.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. I did like Shang-Chi. I liked the latest Doctor Strange. I even liked Quantumania. I really did.
I need to give Quantumania a second chance because when I went to go see that, I had what was it?
Edible?
I had no, we're opposite. I had I had food poisoning.
Oh.
So I'm in the movie theater watching Quantumania. It's at the end, and it's doing like the big final fight, and I'm like sweating and like trying not to shit my pants. And I am not having a good time.
No, I get that. I watched it on Disney Plus once, and I didn't really enjoy the movie, but it was fine. It wasn't bad. Thor: Love and Thunder is the only one where I was cursing the movie.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's really bad. Other than that, no, I've been enjoying them. I just that one hurt me because I like Thor a lot. I think that wraps up everything that we need to talk about for this month. What are you playing? All right. And Colby, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at Jack Billings Presents. Jack Billings Presents is a scripted comedy podcast that takes place in an alternate dimension, Reading, Ohio, where I play a ghost and my co-host is a vampire and the other co-host's wife is a werewolf and all sorts of wacky shit happens. You can also listen to my other show, This Bizarre Adventure, which is a show where I am watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for the first time, and my co-host B Highland is a hilarious, charming voice actor, cosplayer who's been a longtime JoJo fan, and they are taking me through it, and we're going on this bizarre adventure together, and it's a lot of fun. And we're very horny for many of those characters.
Michael.
Yeah.
Michael Colby. I want you to know, you just become probably one of my favorite persons. As a man who has been through the JoJo journey, I want you to know, JoJo is an absolutely fantastic series.
It's if you you can listen to the show and hear me as I start off pretty high on it and then just get higher and higher on it.
What part are you at right now?
You can also hear me get very horny for Dio. And
who isn't horny for Dio? My God.
We are on just the second arc, Battle Tendencies, right now. I'm not going to spoil what happened, but somebody just died. A big cross of stone fell on them.
Not my salad. I love that salad.
Oh, man. I heard it was pineapple flavored.
So we're not super far into it, but I have another podcast that's on hiatus right now called No Time to Binge, where we watch the first and last episodes, and then we made up what happens in the middle. And we watched up to season 3. So I've seen a little bit of what's coming, and I'm very excited to see what's going on here.
Yeah, you guys haven't been introduced to stands yet, which is probably like the best concept in anime ever.
Well, B's watched it more than once. I'm the only one on the show who hasn't seen the show so far.
I need to somehow magically make Mike watch Persona, or not Persona. I'm getting there, but I need to make Mike watch JoJo only because everything that's ever made in the last 30 years references JoJo.
Yeah, there is a segment, JoJo reference, where I find stuff that I didn't know was a JoJo reference, and then I'm like, oh, hey, there's a JoJo reference in Bloodborne.
Yeah. Do you know what all the arcs are about?
I've seen, like I said, the first and last episode of 3. So I do know stands, but no, other than that, I'm trying to keep away from it as much as I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Carson, did you have anything to plug?
I have a Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. It's Video Dragon 64 at Video Dragon 64. I am also starting up a streaming project with thinking about getting into the PNG VTuber game with Avatar. I'm setting up and getting ready to debut soon.
Okay. It's always fun to create content. It's a different kind of high. So
yeah.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, there's over 550 other episodes of this podcast. We do comics, movie, games. Every month we do one of these, and there's over 2 years worth of these at this point now. So go check that out. We're getting close to 3 years we've been doing these. What are you playing? So if you always find content, you find everything we do on Podbean. Go right on our website. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. For a little dollar, you can vote in our Patreon poll. You'll see a link to in the show notes to Patreon. We also have a Discord. Please join our Discord. You'll see a link in that. And Oh yeah, want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fear. You can follow her on TikTok. You'll see a link to all her Linktree stuff in the show notes. You will see a link tree to my Colby stuff in this. Also check him out. Also, if you need another podcast to listen to, check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker, who's on the show quite often, did the MCU movies with me, and want to give a shout out to Nomads of Fantasy. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube. Audio only. And we're also on TikTok now. I make dumb TikToks that have nothing to do with this podcast at the moment, just animal stuff. So, but definitely go check it out. Check out my dumb TikToks. It makes me happy when people click on them. So, all right. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.